Hi, today we're going to take a look at the properties of parallelograms and using algebra to help find our missing variables. So we've got a bunch of rules to help describe a parallelogram. Number one, both pairs of opposite sides are parallel to each other. Opposite sides are congruent. Opposite angles are congruent. Consecutive angles are next to angles. They're supplementary. They add up to 180. If you have one right angle, they're all right angles. When both diagonals cut through each other, they bisect each other, giving equal parts. And when you have a diagonal in a parallelogram, it makes two equal triangles. So let's use all those rules and figure out what we got going on here. Sometimes it's helpful to label stuff on the picture, even if we don't need it. So I know that's 8. I know that's 8. I know that this is 14. I know that this is 14. There's your first equation. So we can set up 2x equals 14, divide x equals 7. Now, just because we have a bunch of variables that we're looking for, doesn't necessarily mean you have to always go in order. So you can go out of order if you like. Let's stick with y, I guess. So y, right here in the middle, they're on the diagonal. So a diagonal, when another diagonal cuts through it, it bisects this into two equal parts. There's your equation. Y plus 2 equals 2y minus 7. So now we can just use our inverse operations, get y alone. So minus y, 2 equals y minus 7, add 7, add y is 9. Great. Taken care of. Let's take a look at V. So angles. Consecutive angles. Consecutive means next to. So this angle down here with the 40 and up here, all of this adds up to 180. We have 40, which is the whole angle, and then half of it up here, which is 36. So we could say 180 equals 40 plus 36 plus V. And let's subtract all that, and we can figure out what V is. So we're left with 140 minus 36, giving us V is 104. Cool. So we know we have 104 here. 1, 0. Okay, what else do we know that we don't necessarily need to write down? We have an angle of 40 degrees down here. That means this angle up here is also 40. We need, okay, so we have our last two angles here. We have W and Z. Now, when we have parallel lines, and we have a line that cuts through those parallel lines, we call that line a transversal, and it forms something kind of neat called alternating interior angles, something that you probably would have learned earlier on in geometry. So alternating interior angles means this 104 is, so if I have this line up top, this line on bottom, and this line that cuts through. These two lines are on the inside of our parallel lines on opposite sides, alternating, and on the inside, this is 104, W's got to be 104. Okay, and I can look at this in two ways. I know that we have consecutive angles up here with the 40, with the 104, and that's 3z. All of this adds up to 180. Or I could go right back to alternating interior angles, but look at different inside angles, 36 and 3z. That's our other missing variable. So we're going to say 36 equals 3z using alternating interior angles. Divide, z equals 12. And that's using algebra along with the properties of parallelograms.